Prepare your N-400 form. All personal questions you should learn for your U.S. citizenship interview. How are you eligible to become a U.S. citizen? How are you eligible to become a U.S. citizen? I have been a lawful permanent resident for 6 years. I have been a lawful permanent resident for 6 years. Are you filing for naturalization under the general provision? Are you filing for naturalization under the general provision? Are you applying for naturalization through the general process? Are you applying for naturalization through the general process? Yes. Are you filing for naturalization through your marriage? Are you filing for naturalization through your marriage? No. I'm filing for naturalization under the general provision. No. I'm filing for naturalization under the general provision. When did you become a permanent resident? When did you become a permanent resident? I became a permanent resident on September 3, 2019. I became a permanent resident on September 3, 2019. When did you get your green card? When did you get your green card? I received my green card on September 3, 2019. I received my green card on September 3, 2019. How many years have you had your green card? How many years have you had your green card? I've had my green card for 6 years. I've had my green card for 6 years. How long have you been a permanent resident? How long have you been a permanent resident? I have been a permanent resident for 6 years. I have been a permanent resident for 6 years. How did you get your green card? How did you get your green card? I got my green card through my brothers. I got my green card through my sister. I got my green card through my parents. I got my green card through my daughter. Who sponsored you? Who sponsored you? My parents sponsored me. My daughter sponsored me. My brother sponsored me. My sister sponsored me. What is your date of residency? What is your date of residency? September 3, 2019. How long have you lived in the U.S.? How long have you lived in the U.S.? 6 years. 6 years. What is your full name? What is your full name? My full name is An Thong Hong. My full name is An Thong Hong. What is your current legal name? What is your current legal name? My current legal name is An Thong Hong. My current legal name is An Thong Hong. What is your last name? What is your last name? My last name is Hong. My last name is Hong. What is your first name? What is your first name? My first name is An Thong. My first name is An Thong. What is your middle name? What is your middle name? I don't have a middle name. I don't have a middle name. What is your name as it appears on your green card? What is your name as it appears on your green card? It is An Thong Hong. It is An Thong Hong. Do you go by any other names? Do you go by any other names? Have you had other names? Have you had other names? Have you used any other name since birth? Have you used any other name since birth? No, I haven't used any other names. No, I haven't used any other names. Yes, I've used another name. Hi. Yes, I've used another name. Hi. Have you ever changed your name? Have you ever changed your name? No, never. Do you want to change your name? Do you want to change your name? Would you like to change your name? Would you like to change your name? No, I don't want to change my name. No, I don't want to change my name. Yes, I want to change my name to William Hong. Yes, I want to change my name to William Hong. What is your social security number? What is your social security number? 679659807. Would you like the Social Security Administration to send you a new card and update your immigration status after you've naturalized? Would you like the Social Security Administration to send you a new card and update your immigration status after you've naturalized? Yes. What is your date of birth? What is your date of birth? When were you born? When were you born? March 20th, 1983. What is your phone number? What is your phone number? 669-047-3246. Where were you born? Where were you born? What is your country of birth? What is your country of birth? I was born in Vietnam. I was born in Vietnam. Where are you from? Where are you from? Where do you originally come from? Where do you originally come from? I'm from Vietnam. I'm from Vietnam. What is your country of citizenship or nationality? What is your country of citizenship or nationality? What is your nationality? What is your nationality? My nationality is Vietnamese. My nationality is Vietnamese. Are you a citizen or national of more than one country? Are you a citizen or national of more than one country? Are you a citizen of any other country? Are you a citizen of any other country? No, I'm only a citizen of Vietnam. No, I'm only a citizen of Vietnam. Was one of your parents a U.S. citizen before your 18th birthday? Was one of your parents a U.S. citizen before your 18th birthday? Is your mother or father a U.S. citizen? Is your mother or father a U.S. citizen? Is either of your parents a U.S. citizen? Is either of your parents a U.S. citizen? No, neither of my parents is a U.S. citizen. No, neither of my parents is a U.S. citizen. What is your current physical address? What is your current physical address? What is your home address? What is your home address? Where do you live now? Where do you live now? 352 Mustang Street, San Jose, California, 95123. Is your mailing address the same as your physical address? Is your mailing address the same as your physical address? Yes. What is your current mailing address? What is your current mailing address? My mailing address is 352 Mustang Street, San Jose, California, 95123. Who do you live with at this address? Who do you live with at this address? I live with my wife and my children. I live with my wife and my children. When did you move to the current address? When did you move to the current address? I moved to my current address on December 4th, 2022. I moved to my current address on December 4th, 2022. How long have you lived at the current address? How long have you lived at the current address? How long have you been at this address? How long have you been at this address? 3 years. 3 years. What was your previous address? What was your previous address? Where did you live before? Where did you live before? 2336 McLaughlin Avenue, San Jose, California, 95122. When did you leave that address? When did you leave that address? I left that address on October 3rd, 2021. I left that address on October 3rd, 2021. When did you start living at that address? When did you start living at that address? I had lived there since October 4th, 2021. I had lived there since October 4th, 2021. When did you move to that address? When did you move to that address? I moved to that address on October 4th, 2021. I moved to that address on October 4th, 2021. Have you lived anywhere else in the last 5 years? Have you lived anywhere else in the last 5 years? Where else have you lived in the last 5 years? Where else have you lived in the last 5 years? I haven't lived anywhere else. I haven't lived anywhere else. How tall are you? How tall are you? What is your height? What is your height? I am 5 feet 2 inches. I am 5 feet 2 inches. How much do you weigh? How much do you weigh? What is your weight? What is your weight? I'm 123 pounds. I'm 123 pounds. What is your hair color? What is your hair color? Black. Black. What is your eye color? What is your eye color?
Brown. Brown.
Are you Hispanic or Latino? Are you Hispanic or Latino? No, I'm Asian. No, I'm Asian. What is your race? What is your race? I'm Asian. I'm Asian. Are you currently working? Are you currently working? Do you work? Do you work? Are you employed? Are you employed? Do you have a job? Do you have a job? Yes, I work as a nail technician. Yes, I work as a nail technician. No, I don't have a job. No, I don't have a job. What is your occupation? What is your occupation? I'm a nail technician. I'm a nail technician. I'm not currently working. I'm not currently working. How do you support yourself? How do you support yourself? My husband supports me. My husband supports me. My wife supports me. My wife supports me. What is your job? What is your job? I'm a nail technician. I'm a nail technician. Where do you work? Where do you work? What is your current employer? What is your current employer? I work at Bamboo Nail Bar. I work at Bamboo Nail Bar. How long have you worked there? How long have you worked there? How long have you had that job? How long have you had that job? I've worked there for 2 years. I've worked there for 2 years. When did you start working there? When did you start working there? I started working there on May 27, 2023. I started working there on May 27, 2023. When did you leave that job? When did you leave that job? I left that job on May 24, 2023. I left that job on May 24, 2023. What did you do before? What did you do before? What was your previous occupation? What was your previous occupation? I worked as a nail technician. I worked as a nail technician. Where did you work before? Where did you work before? What was your previous employer? What was your previous employer? I worked at Golden Nail Lounge. I worked at Golden Nail Lounge. Have you worked anywhere else in the last 5 years? Have you worked anywhere else in the last 5 years? No. What other jobs have you had in the past 5 years? What other jobs have you had in the past 5 years? I haven't worked anywhere else. I haven't worked anywhere else. Have you taken any classes or courses in the past 5 years? Have you taken any classes or courses in the past 5 years? No. What is your current marital status? What is your current marital status? I'm married. I'm married. Is your spouse a current member of the U.S. Armed Forces? Is your spouse a current member of the U.S. Armed Forces? No. How many times have you been married? How many times have you been married? I have been married once. I have been married once. I have been married twice. I have been married twice. Were you married before? Were you married before? Yes. No, I have not been married before. No, I have not been married before. When did you get married? When did you get married? What is the date of your marriage? What is the date of your marriage? I got married on May 12, 2012. I got married on May 12, 2012. Where did you get married? Where did you get married? I got married in Vietnam. I got married in Vietnam. What is your spouse's legal name? What is your spouse's legal name? Her legal name is T Tan Hong Wen. Her legal name is T Tan Hong Wen. What is your spouse's date of birth? What is your spouse's date of birth? Her date of birth is February 27, 1986. Her date of birth is February 27, 1986. Is your spouse's present physical address the same as your physical address? Is your spouse's present physical address the same as your physical address? Yes. What is your current spouse's immigration status? What is your current spouse's immigration status? She is a lawful permanent resident. She is a lawful permanent resident. How many times has your spouse been married? How many times has your spouse been married? She has been married once. She has been married once. Has your spouse had any previous marriages? Has your spouse had any previous marriages? Was your spouse married before? Was your spouse married before? No, she was never married before. No, she was never married before. What is your spouse's current employer? What is your spouse's current employer? She works at Color Nail Salon. She works at Color Nail Salon. She is not currently working. She is not currently working. What is your spouse's occupation? What is your spouse's occupation? She is a nail technician. She is a nail technician. What is your spouse's country of origin? What is your spouse's country of origin? She's from Vietnam. She's from Vietnam. Do you have any children? Do you have any children? Yes, I have 2 children. Yes, I have 2 children. How many children do you have? How many children do you have? I have 2 children. I have 2 children. Are your children biological children? Are your children biological children? Yes. What are your children's names? What are your children's names? My children's names are Min An Hong and Tan Hien Hong. My children's names are Min An Hong and Tan Hien Hong. What are your children's dates of birth? What are your children's dates of birth? My children's dates of birth are April 15th, 2014 and December 9th, 2017. My children's dates of birth are April 15th, 2014 and December 9th, 2017. Where were your children born? Where were your children born? My children were born in Vietnam. My children were born in Vietnam. Do your children currently live with you? Do your children currently live with you? Yes, my children live with me. Yes, my children live with me. What are the immigration status of your children? What are the immigration status of your children? My children are permanent residents. My children are permanent residents. Do you have any stepchildren? Do you have any stepchildren? Do you have adopted children? Do you have adopted children? Yes, I have 1 stepchild. Yes, I have 1 stepchild. No, I don't have any stepchildren or adopted children. No, I don't have any stepchildren or adopted children. Do you have any children from your previous marriage? Do you have any children from your previous marriage? Yes, I have 2 children from my previous marriage. Yes, I have 2 children from my previous marriage. Does your spouse have any previous children? Does your spouse have any previous children? Does your spouse have any children from a previous marriage? Does your spouse have any children from a previous marriage? Yes, she has 2 children from her previous marriage. Yes, she has 2 children from her previous marriage. Have you traveled outside the U.S. in the last 5 years? Have you traveled outside the U.S. in the last 5 years? Have you left the U.S. in the last 5 years? Have you left the U.S. in the last 5 years? Yes, I went to Vietnam twice in the last 5 years. Yes, I went to Vietnam twice in the last 5 years. How many times have you left the U.S. in the last 5 years? How many times have you left the U.S. in the last 5 years? I've left the U.S. 2 times in the last 5 years. I've left the U.S. 2 times in the last 5 years. How many trips have you taken outside the U.S. in the last 5 years? How many trips have you taken outside the U.S. in the last 5 years? 2 trips. 2 trips. Why did you leave the U.S.? Why did you leave the U.S.? What was the reason for leaving the U.S.? What was the reason for leaving the U.S.? I went on vacation. I went on vacation. Have you ever left the U.S. for more than 6 months? Have you ever left the U.S. for more than 6 months? Have you ever stayed outside the U.S. for more than 6 months? Have you ever stayed outside the U.S. for more than 6 months? No. When did you leave the U.S.? When did you leave the U.S.? I left the U.S. on October 13, 2022. I left the U.S. on October 13, 2022. Where did you go? Where did you go? I went to Vietnam. I went to Vietnam. How long were you gone on that trip? How long were you gone on that trip? How long was that trip? How long was that trip? That trip was 16 days. That trip was 16 days. When did you return to the U.S.? When did you return to the U.S.? I returned to the U.S. on October 28, 2022. I returned to the U.S. on October 28, 2022. Have you ever left the U.S. for a year or more? Have you ever left the U.S. for a year or more? No. Have you taken any other trips outside the U.S. in the last 5 years? Have you taken any other trips outside the U.S. in the last 5 years? No.